Hello, my name is Amnesia. Welcome to lesson 2 of Level Editor. Okay, so now you have to open Level Editor. After you open Level Editor, you press File. You press Open, and you go to your .map file. After you open it, your perspective should be the way it was, otherwise you click this. Now, I'm going to be teaching you lighting. So, let's start with the basic window. You go to Static Objects, you go down to your base. I've used Mansion Base. And I scroll down all the way to Walls. And then in there should be a window. Choose one. I'm going to choose this one. Don't forget to turn it around. Now go back to your select tool. What you do is you just remove the wall you wanted instead of. I'm going to remove this one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this into the place where the old wall was. And then backwards. Until it fits perfectly in. And there you've got a window. But just having a window won't give you lighting. If you untoggle A and P, you'll still see that there's no lighting at all. So what you have to do is you have to create your own lighting. What you do is you just place your focus tool right behind the window, scroll into it, and now go into your lights, which is number 2 on your left side. We're going to go to Spotlight. And we're going to decorate the spotlight just to make it look a bit more real with the point light. We're going to do that after I finish with this. So now go back to your select tool after you put it down. Now you can see there's a square. That square is where it's going to shine on. So what you do is you press W and you rotate it. Now you press Q again and you move it to where you want it to be. I'm going to make the sun a bit more upwards so that if you look at it, the sun is coming from this way. But now we have to rotate it downwards. To rotate it downwards by pressing W and rotating one of the sides. Okay, now what you do is you go into your spot in the right hand corner over here. Then you go down to cast shadows, and then you higher your radius. Then move it around a bit to change the quality of the light. So I'm just going to put it there. Now let's decorate this light a bit to make it look a bit more realistic by putting in a point light. So what you do is you go back to your lights, number 2. You go down to point light. Now you place it somewhere on the map. You go back to your select tool and you move it upward. What you have to know about the spotlight is that it just makes a radius of light. What you have to do is you have to go up in radius a bit, just until you think it looks realistic enough. Then press Ctrl D and move it somewhere else in the room if you want a bit more light. And I keep on duplicating it and putting it around the room until you think it looks good. Then what you do is you add a bit of spooky effects to it. So you go into your entities, you go down to lamp, and then just go down until you find something that fits. I'm going to be using this one because it seems to fit the best. Now you see why we said trust shadows. So let's move this a bit away from the wall to make this more like the sun. Then just put a few lamps around the room just to give it more of an atmosphere. Okay. So now you can also add wherever you want, like wall lights, chandeliers, and all kinds of other things. I'm going to add this chandelier. Then I'm going to go back to my select tool and pull it up to the roof. Maybe make it a bit smaller as well. We put the chandelier down. Let's check where the middle is so that we can position it. So then you click on your chandelier and you move it up a bit to the middle of the room. And then we've got our lighting. You can add other lights, like box light, but I don't think I'll be using this in this atmosphere. And you have to place it on the ground. So this is basically it for lighting. In my next tutorial I'm going to delete a few of these and add entities around the room. Don't forget to like and subscribe and favorite. Bye.